Welcome to the Yankee and Canuck podcast, Best Picture Series, where we talk about all the Academy Award Best Pictures, past to present.
And I'm your host, a Yankee.
And I'm your host, a Canuck.
And today we're going to be talking about I don't know. This film from 1958. It was in the 31st Academy Award ceremony. And this thing not only won Best Picture, it won 8 other awards, by the way. Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Film Editing, Scoring, Best Song. Funnily enough, this film won the most Academy Awards up to this point. Now, it only lasted a year because Ben-Hur would break that, and eventually another film after that would break that, The Last Emperor, and then it would be broken again by The Return of the King.
Oh,
which I believe is...
you really enjoy.
Yeah, out of all those, yeah. So, yes, this film at this point, though, won so many awards, was nominated for so many awards. So
it's ridiculous.
Oh, why is it ridiculous? Why would you say that? This was an amazing film. Don't you like a film about singing, dancing pedophiles in France? That's what this film's about, ladies and gentlemen. No. This is what the whole goddamn film's about. It's about a 15-year-old girl in France who's grooming to become a prostitute, a child prostitute, and, or what do they call it? A concierge or something like that. So basically, she's groomed to be like an escort for these older men. And yeah, that's the film. That's the film. Like, they sing and dance about this throughout the entire thing, and then the older man who just hangs around, you know, this brothel is like, oh, let me hang out with you. I think you're kind of cool. And then he falls in love with her. But then he's like, I can't be frolicking around with this younger woman. I have to be a serious man. He's a rich old man. But he's just like, you know what? I think I love her. I'm going to go ahead and marry her. The end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's not old. He's just much older than she is.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is another case where he's like in his mid to late 30s, maybe 40s.
Probably,
more likely, yeah. I mean, this was directed by the same dude who did An American in Paris, the Gene Kelly movie, and that also had a similar age gap. Yeah. At least in the same actress too, by the way.
Yeah, Leslie Caron.
Yeah, she was the love interest in that film, and this one she's the lead. She's a Gigi or Gigi or JJ, whatever.
Gigi, yeah. Or Gigi in French.
Gigi.
It's a French movie, right?
Gigi.
So, Vincente Minnelli, Liza Minnelli's father, directed this, who, like you said, did American in Paris. That one we covered that. That was in 51, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
Yes. I mean, honestly, it's like... Gigi, nous avons vu, Gigi, c'était, je ne sais pas, terrible.
I remember Yankee. Pepe Le Pew from Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Et toi, Yankee, what did you think, Yankee? What say you? Were you not impressed by its performance?
No, I was not impressed at all. She should have been younger, much younger.
I mean, honestly, going into this, I was like, first of all, I was like, oh, man. Another musical? You got to be kidding me, right? And then this is a creepy musical.
Yeah, it was.
So, I mean, it's like, oh, great.
Because it opens with this older French dude, and he's the one who introduces us to what's about to happen. It's like, there's love in the air. Look, everyone. There's the men that are married to the women, and the women who are not married. Well, they're just very difficult women. And then he goes on singing about how young girls are great because they're young. Yeah. And then they grow up to be like, and they grow up to be older women or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a bizarre, weird intro. He starts with breaking the fourth wall, like he's talking to the audience first, and I didn't like that. I mean, some movies do it, and some movies do that well, but and it's not. This isn't the first time it's been done in film. Obviously, they've been breaking the fourth wall in movies, you know, probably 30 years before this movie came out, and then there's that weird intro song, and I'm like, what the hell is this? What are we?
Yeah, one listen to those lyrics, you're just like, I was just listening to the song and I was like, hold on a minute, what is this guy saying?
Man.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is just one of those movies, it's just shocking that it won all these awards. It won Best Picture. If you look at the other nominees and you're like, I don't know about any of these movies. But once again, 1958, there were great movies that came out. Hammer film, Dracula, Christopher Lee, that came out in 58. The Fly came out in 58 with Vincent Price. I mean, there's a whole bunch of good movies that came out in 58.
Here's a few that you're missing. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which I believe was nominated, didn't win. Touch of Evil, that's an Orson Welles film. Vertigo is the one you're thinking of.
Vertigo, that's the Hitchcock film.
And also, you know what else came out that year?
What?
The Blob. One of my favorite horror films. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite monster movies. Now, that film should deserve Best Picture. Screw everything else. Maybe Vertigo, if we're being serious, but I just like those are more watchable films. Those are more entertaining films. But this piece of no, this one decided no. Step aside. We are the ones who are going to win Best Picture. Like as soon as the guy started singing in general, I was just like, okay, Hollywood at this point has an infatuation with musicals. Like they just love their musicals.
Yeah, they give way too much credit to musicals. Look, there's a lot of skill and talent that goes into some of these musicals, no doubt, and they have their the issues with them, like lack of a story or no story or whatever, and so you could always give credit for the production, the costumes, and all that. But man, they are obsessed with musicals, and they'll give the award to that over all these great movies any day.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
And gloss over everything else.
Dumb Academy, man. That's a dumb Academy right there.
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of like movies with problematic elements that are still watchable, I would say like watch Lolita instead. I think that came out in the 60s. You know, the book is highly controversial, and the film as such is it's a Kubrick film, and as such the film is very controversial as well. It's also a more entertaining film. You know what I mean? There's a level of mystique and intrigue and uncomfortableness that makes you want to keep watching. Whereas this one's just like does it with a smile on their face and song and dance, and I'm just like, And here's the thing, in the movie, it's not explicitly clear how old she's supposed to be. I think the actress at this point was like in her late 20s, which is okay. That's fine. But in the book, which I also read because it's based on a book, she's 15. It's literally explicitly stated she's 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the movie, you know that she's a student because they ask her about her studies and something like history and math or something like that. So you know that she's like a teenager or something like that. So
yeah,
she's not in university or anything like that. She's in grade school. Or something.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like
obviously, like in the movie, her aunt, her great aunt, and her grandma and her great aunt, and I forgot who's who, but she lives with her great aunt and her grandma. I don't know. Anyways,
what basically happens is like her grandmother ships her off to her great aunt so that way she can be trained to be a prostitute.
Oh, they don't live in the same. Okay, I thought she was
not that it was made abundantly clear in either the book or the movie. In the book, they just say like you're going to be shipped off to your great aunt and you're going to be trained. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a brief moment when she's asking her how her studies are going. So like whatever, math, house science, blah blah blah, and then it's like forget about all that. Now you need to learn about cigars and wine and
how to pour tea properly, how to walk properly, and all of a sudden,
I was like, what the hell?
Honestly, those were the only moments in the film that were actually interesting. Her being trained to be a prostitute, because you see her screwing up a bunch, and then she has like poor posture, and then there's a scene where like how to properly swish and taste wine, and she keeps drinking, and she's getting drunk, and then the great aunt's like, all right, she's had enough. I'm like, okay, that stuff is actually pretty good. I kind of wish the whole movie was about that, and then she screws it up, and then she meets this dude and whatever. But the main problem with this film, other than the problematic elements, is it's just super boring.
It is,
The stuff that they talk about is not interesting. The conflicts that happen in the film are not interesting. Because honestly, it's just like, it's kind of like Pretty Women, except that there's no chemistry, no real chemistry, really. Just a bunch of moaning and complaining. I'm like, oh, I'm bored. Like Gaston, his whole thing. There's a whole goddamn song about it too, where guys like, oh, it's a bore. It's a bore. And it's the
whole sequence in the beginning. Yeah. I was like, dude, this dude needs some help, man. And he's like, this is a bore. That's a bore. Eiffel Tower is a bore. The weather is a bore. That flower over there is a bore. I'm like, dude, you need to get some help, bro.
Yeah, get a hobby.
Like, that's literally all he says for a while. He's like, life's a bore. I smell wine. I'm like, don't bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. He's rich. The whole idea is that he's so rich that he's seen everything, he's done everything, and therefore life is a bore. I get that. But could you add a little more substance to that? Just a little bit, instead of just whining and complaining and having a whole song where you're complaining. Oh my goodness gracious. And even in the book, he complains too. And the book, thankfully, is like really short. It's 60 pages, So I read the book once, and by the time I got to the end, I was like, what the did I just read? I couldn't remember anything. It was just a bunch of rich people doing rich people things or whatever. Then after
Yeah.
I saw the film, I was like, you know what? Let me read this book again. Because now that I have an idea what the movie's about, maybe I can understand what the book's about. I read it again. I stopped halfway through and I was like, you know what? This book just sucks. I'm not going to bother. Even though it's really, really mercifully short, it's like probably one of the worst books that I've read in this series. Is it Grand Hotel levels worse? You know what? It gives it a run for its money. Grand Hotel, I probably put it worse because it's longer and even more boring, if you can even believe that.
I'd rather watch Grand Hotel than this movie.
I don't know, man.
I would seriously rather watch Grand Hotel.
I don't know about that, man, because at least in this film, it's in Technicolor. At least the sets are great. The costumes are great.
That's true, yeah, but that's
picturesque.
All it has.
It really, that's all it has. It's not, and it's nothing unique to this film, by the way. You know, An American in Paris had a lot of different sets, had a lot of different costumes, but it also had dancing on top of singing. This one is just singing, and really bad singing. You know,
that's the problem. That's the thing with this film. A lot of these other musicals, like sometimes the music itself is really good. This is heavily dependent on the rhymes, and a lot of the times the rhymes are really weak. A lot of the times, sometimes they're clever and they kind of move things along, help move things along in the scene or whatever. But sometimes it's just really bad rhyming, like almost like they couldn't think of anything else to rhyme. And so I mean, it's just weird sometimes, and it's just. I don't know, man. Just
it's a bore. What a chore. Can I have some
and
more?
He's like, oh, what about
know.
the Eiffel Tower? It's a bore. He's like, what about the garden? It's a bore. The train? It's a bore. He's just listing everything around him and shit. He's like, what about this building? And I don't know. Just, I was like, man.
What about this building? We are filming. I don't know. Yeah, it
was also weird, man. Like, there's a lot of the attitudes were so. Like in the beginning, when Gaston finds out that his girlfriend's cheating on him, right? And he pays the guy like 1,000 francs to go away or something. And then he breaks up with her, right? And then she freaks out, like she's shocked that he did that. Like, really? After she was caught with another guy? Like, what'd you think he was going to do?
And then she commits suicide or something, right?
And then she offs herself. And that's what it says in the film. And then it's so weird. Book too. The next scene is the great aunt and the grandma or whoever the hell they are. Gigi's aunt and grandma, and they're all smiling and enjoying the news of this woman who attempted to off herself, and they're like gossiping about it, and it was just really weird and disturbing. And I was like, all these people need help, man, seriously. And then that weird old dude, I think it's Gaston's uncle, right? Like the creepy old guy.
I think so. Yeah.
He basically says something to him like, "Congrats on your first." On the first time a woman's trying to offer herself.
Oh, congratulations, nephew, for getting your first child prostitute. How do you like her?
He said that, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching, man? And then you find out, of course, she isn't dead. Apparently, this woman, she's attempted this before. What she does is she takes a little bit of poison, but not enough, you know. And so they explain that in the film, and I'm like, what the hell, man? What am I watching? You know, like this is the beginning of the movie.
Those were my thoughts like 30 minutes into the film, and that's when I was like, you know what? I believe I'm in hell right now. This is what hell probably feels like. There's an hour, 30 minutes left, and I have to sit through this thing. You know what we're doing is not very unique in terms of like watching films and talking about them, at least these Best Picture movies, right? There is a point that we noticed that people fall off reviewing these films. I believe Gigi is one of those movies that makes people go, "F this shit. I don't want to do this anymore." If this is what's considered a Best Picture, I am out. And I don't blame people, honestly. I truly do not blame people. Unfortunately, we're stubborn, so we're going to continue.
Honestly, you know what we should do? We should just, instead of covering the movies like that or don't deserve this, we should just cover the movie that does deserve it. So like The Blob, we just talk about The Blob.
No, sir, that would be quitting. I do not quit. I am American.
That's true.
Americans keep going.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, I mean, we got to do it. And like you said, that's true that a lot of people do stop in the 50s, especially. Yeah. They're like, oof, this is quite an undertaking. We got a lot more ahead of us. I don't know if I can handle it.
The 60s ain't going to be much better, man. I looked.
The good thing is, like, the movies that are good, but the ones that are bad are bad, you know? So,
yeah,
it's more shocking, the ones that win. And, like, how did this not even get nominated?
Oh, my God, yeah.
So that's just almost every year. It's not even a matter of like my preference. Like I always say, like there's great horror movies and sci-fi movies, and some of them are really good movies. Some of them are, yeah, they're okay movies that I happen to really like, and I can understand why they may not be nominated. But some of these should be nominated and maybe win over some of these other ones, and it's just so puzzling. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but if going to what you were saying though, like, yeah, I think if there's a really bad Best Picture winner, we should quickly mention the films and maybe go into little detail about the ones that should have won. Because it's just like at this point, this is absurd. I understand that the ceremony is all political and whatever, but oh my goodness gracious! And I know subjective too, tastes and whatnot, but no, this is egregiously bad. Like hell no. I mean, because like especially like going back to that Gaston guy, the main love interest, like that one point where he wants to take Gigi out on a date, and then the aunt's like, you can't do that, because like, what about your standing, your social posturing, and he gets all pissy, and then he goes into a ungodly long song about, oh my god, I should. What was the song again? It was like, she's really young. She is a schoolgirl. She is barely out of school. She is playing games and dolls, but she's also mature. She's very mature. And I'm like, bro, what? And then it transitions to a different kind of song, but he's still singing, and it's just like it keeps going. I'm like, bro, stop. I can't take it more. I can't take it anymore.
It was a tough movie to watch, I thought, and fortunately, it's only an hour and a half. I honestly think they should have cut it down.
It's 2 hours.
It was 2 hours.
It was actually 2 hours.
Okay, I may have dozed off for a bit.
I don't blame you.
But
I don't blame you.
But I mean, even the how we say the production of the film itself is good. The costumes, it's the color, of course, right? The color is great, but it is possible to be a bit too much, and it is sometimes. Like honestly, too much vibrancy can happen, and it can be distracting sometimes, believe it or not. And I feel like in this movie, sometimes I'm like looking at all that. It's like, wow, look at all the colors, man. It's as if like all the colors in a 30-piece color pencil set is in the film. Like I don't even recognize some of these colors, man. Like what is that one called? Is that really necessary?
Yeah, that's a good point. It was very distracting just watching so much stuff happen on the screen. But then again, it was a good distraction for what was actually happening. So I was like, okay, look at that over there in the background. That's cool.
Yeah. It's look at that color. You don't see that color in nature. And look at that one. Wow. Look at that costume. And look at this. And
at times it was every frame of painting. That's how beautiful the photography was at times. And it's funny too, because looking at the reviews, contemporary reviews of this film, there was this one person that was like, oh, I saw this film when I was at a bar. There was no sound. I was just looking at it, like the pictures, like the way it was going. And I was like, oh, that is such a beautiful film. I can't wait to watch this. When they went home and they actually watched it with the sound on, they're like, oh my God, what the what is this? It's one of those films where you don't know any better. Oh yes, once you understand what's happening without with subtitles on and the sound on, you're in for a treat.
Even I want to say maybe a half hour, about 30 minutes into about 30 minutes into the film, there's the part in that bar or whatever, and there's that, I don't know how else to describe it other than dreadful, but that whispering rhyme sequence, like, did you see her ring, did you see her dress, blah 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 blah, she's such a mess, or something. I'm like, damn, dude.
It's like a really bad Dr. Seuss rhyme or something.
It's
from
so
hell.
bad. I'm like, I can't take this. We're only halfway through this movie. I got 90 minutes left. Oh man, it's a lot, man.
Man, I screw this film. I give this film out of 10. Okay.
Honestly, I'm not even joking. I would rather watch Grand Hotel over this. I actually, I know Grand Hotel was problematic, and you definitely dislike it a lot more than I do, but at least that had a decent plot, and there's some interesting elements to it. It's just too long, and it needed more spirit in it, but I would rather watch that movie than this, for sure.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, ultimately, as much as I really dislike this film, there are times where I'm just like, as we just mentioned, photography and whatever. There are times where it was kind of bearable, sort of bearable.
Yeah. I mean, there's entertainment value to it, right?
I mean, it's good background noise. Like I wouldn't I wouldn't put Grand Hotel in the background for anything. This one, you know,
That's
I
true.
probably could. You turn off the noise and just let the pictures go. It's a beautiful film in that aspect. Grand Hotel is just a black and white, boring ass mess. You know, I just could. So I think Grand Hotel.
That's the difference. That's the thing. Background. As a background, I agree with you. But if I had to sit down and watch between those two movies, I'd rather watch Grand Hotel.
I still think Grand Hotel is more unbearable, even if I were to pay attention to it. So yeah, I think I gave that one a 2 out of 10. I'm gonna probably I'll give this one a 3 out of 10. Just a star above Grand Hotel because it's just so wretched, but it's pretty. That's it. You know, just watch it with the sound off, and you're good.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with agree with that. I probably would give this a 4.5 out of 10.
All right, guys, and that is Gigi.
Gigi.
Gigi. Don't read the book, and if you're gonna watch the film, do so at your own peril. All right.
Yeah.
The next film is a biblical epic.
That's right.
Big ass book. A lot of different adaptations as well. It is considered one of the greatest American classics, and yeah, we'll see if that's the case or not. So stay tuned for that one.
That's right. We're about to wrap up the 50s.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.